This is episode number 10, and joining me today is the big Swedish guy in our O-line. It's Victor Stoffel.
Hello.
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 This is your first season with the Vikings, and you basically came here straight out of college, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So after spending so many years in the US, how is it like to be in Europe now? How is it like to be in Vienna?
Oh, it's good. I'm definitely glad to be back in Europe. 6 years in college, it's nice to kind of be closer to the family, be able to see them more often, and just being back in the European environment. It's been very nice. It's been good for my mental health for sure.
And a lot of cultural differences, I assume, for you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of cultural differences. But it feels good to be back to it, and to get to go to Vienna too. It's a new place I've never been before. Was good. Definitely.
Have you never been to Vienna before?
Never been to Vienna. Never been to Austria in general.
Oh, wow!
This is the first time I'm here.
Are you learning German now?
Yeah, slowly. I'm getting there. I'm getting good at ordering at the store and asking "Mitt katt bitte."
What's that?
Mitt katte.
Oh, katte.
Katte. Yeah. I'm learning. But usually they just end up talking in English to me because they realize that I don't.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, we've seen you try some bits and pieces of German on the funny TikToks that you do with the Vikings.
Yeah.
You're one of the few players that really show up to the TikToks.
Yeah.
And you are really funny, especially in combination with the other guys. Big recommendation to watch that. You don't need a TikTok account. You just type in TikTok Vienna Vikings and you can see Victor do some pretty funny things.
Yeah, check it out. It's good.
So how important has the team and the camaraderie and the support of the Vikings organization been for you on and off the field?
It's been really good. Every time you go to a new team, you're always a little nervous. How's the relationship going to be with the coaches and the players? But I felt like since day one, they've been very opening and welcoming to the family. And that's the coaches, I think, have done a really good job of really emphasizing you're a part of this family, and it really has that vibe of no matter what, we're still here for each other. And the same goes for the players. And the players have been very, very nice, kind of opening up to me and letting me be part of the team. So I think it's huge. It's great, off the field. It's fantastic, and on the field too. It helps the production on the field. I feel like if you see it on the field, that it's a close group of guys that really care for each other.
Close unit, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're from Sweden. We got a lot of Finnish guys on the team. Do you hang out with the Finnish guys?
Yeah, I do. I do hang out with the Finnish guys, but the Finnish guys are. They're great. I love them. They're also very interesting. The cultural difference between Finnish and Swedish. Yes, I'll hang out with them, and they're, all of a sudden they always start talking Finnish, and I'm kind of sitting there yeah, okay, all right.
I guess for some people, because all of the northern countries, for us, sometimes we just put it in one pot.
Yeah.
They would assume that you guys are the same, but it's very different.
Yeah, Finland, it is similar, but there's this almost sibling rivalry between the countries.
Oh, is it?
So yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Well, here at the Vikings, you play for one team, which is great. You've also been a part of other programs, as you said, in college and high school. Can you tell us a little bit about the stops you made and what made you decide to go there?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first experience in the U.S., I went to Nebraska in high school. So that was a high school team. It was Norfolk Catholic Knights. And that was I didn't pick it. They just chose for me where to go. I said, I like football. I like playing football. So they sent me to a school there Who
is they?
That was the organization I went with. Sorry, the EF it's called. So that was the exchange program that I signed up for.
You want to go to the high school in the US and you want to play football there.
Yeah,
so those were the criteria.
Yeah, so they were looking for schools then that had a good football program.
Okay, great.
And I came to Norfolk Catholic Knights, who has a very, very good record. They're one of the best, historically, in winning the state championship there. And that was my first taste of American football, a different level, at the high school level there.
Because you played in Sweden before.
I played in Sweden before. This was probably my fourth year playing college football. And, that was a really cool experience. And I really, I think, helped me a lot in my development. I used to play D-end at the time there. So I played D-end. And then the off season, I got to do wrestling and track and field. And I feel like those are things that definitely helped me as an overall
Athletic
athlete.
skills too.
Yeah, I developed a lot more like athletic skills doing that. And then I came back to Sweden. I had 2 more years of high school to do. So I finished those up, and then I went with this organization called PPI, Premier Players International, who, they took me to these college camps in the U.S. I got to do tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got an offer from Temple University. And that was my only offer. So I, signed with them, but they wanted me to play O-line. So that was kind of a big adjustment for me. Yeah, coming in there, because I played D-line my whole life, and now I have to gain all this weight. And I remember my first practice, I was like, okay, this is my first time playing O-line. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going up against Division I guys. So that was definitely a journey, and that was a long journey too, kind of gaining the weight and then kind of figuring out the position, because it's a very technical position, I think, being tackle especially. So, I stuck at it. There's some hard times, some good times, but eventually I ended up doing pretty well for myself, became a starter, and then I became single digits. So I became one of the leaders on the team. So they hand out the single digit number to the players vote for the other players they think are the people that live up to.
What was your number?
So they gave me number 4, which
that's my number.
Yeah. I couldn't wear it in games because I'm an O-lineman, but at practice I would have the number 4. It looks really good. So on a big guy like me, having that number was a really cool thing. And then my last year, because of COVID, I got a 6th year. So with that year, I decided that I've been there 5 years. That's a whole college career. So I felt that I wanted to go somewhere else for my last year to kind of, I always loved the traveling aspect of football, to go in places you've never been before and meeting people that you would never meet before. So I ended up going to California and playing a season over there. And that was really cool. And again, that's like a new challenge again, because now you're going up against kind of, a higher level, a power 5 level, which was a really cool experience. I got to play some really big games. So it's been a journey.
And that was your last year in college, and then you came back to Europe and went straight to the Vikings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, throughout the California season, Coach P was kind of hitting me up on Instagram a little bit, and I'd.
So you knew her from before, or was it just like?
No, I knew her from she just DM'd me on
online
Instagram.
connection.
Yeah, I tried to
always scouting.
Me. Yeah, always scouting. You came pretty early with it too. And I'd always I'd watch a little bit of the league. I was following him on Instagram, kind of just following it a little bit and thinking that this is a really cool league, and definitely if I have an opportunity, I'd love to be a part of it. So it kind of just worked out.
Perfect. You studied international business in college. How did your academic journey influence your approach in football?
I think especially at the college level, I think it's good to have something else to kind of make you remember that you're just not a football player. Your success on the field doesn't determine the success you have as a person. So for me, it's always been kind of good to remember that I'm more than just a sport. I have, I'm studying for this degree and for life after football. So for me, I think it was hard to balance, obviously, football and school, but I think it was always the main thing for me to remember is that, football isn't forever. And when it's done, I need to have something I can do moving forward.
And if you have the degree, you have it, you can play pro football as you do now, as long as you can. And then there's something else for you out there.
Exactly, yeah.
Robin, the owner of the Vienna Vikings, he was pretty stoked when the Vikings signed you because he also studied in Berkeley in California. Is that something you bond over? Do you talk about that when you see him? Like, if you see him, is it like a thing that you chat about?
Oh, yeah. I see him all the time. He's always, when we're working out at the gym, he's there and, it comes to practice and kind of, talks to the players and watches. And that was kind of one of the first things we talked about was that, he's also a Berkeley alum.
I think you played tennis there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, we will always talk about it. And, if I show up to the gym and I'm wearing Temple gear, he'll kind of, be like,
No.
Jokingly, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you wearing California gear? And then one time I caught him in Stanford gear, and I said, "What are you doing here? You're wearing Stanford gear." So I always try to wear. So if I expect to see him, I always try to wear some Cal gear. But yeah,
that's funny. What was the key factor for you to come back to Europe and especially to Austria? Because normally after college, players would think going to the NFL draft or other leagues. Why did you choose actively to come back to Europe?
For me, I think it was a big part was just it's kind of where I was at mentally with the sport. I love football, but after 6 years of college, I kind of felt a little like burnt out in the U.S. Kind of like, I felt how my body felt at the time and kind of where my mental state was at. And I had, this kind of crossroad of, do I want to keep going here or do I want to kind of like start kind of, getting, take another road? And for me, I think it's just that I was happy with where I was at with football and what I've done in the U.S. And I felt that trying to like go to the NFL or something like that didn't really fit with what I wanted and my mental health and what felt right for me. So I felt that I rather, I still want to play football, but there's a league in Europe and I can go to and still play football, and I can now also be closer to kind of my family and just my home.
How big of a pillar is your family in all of that? I mean, you've been far away from them for a long, long time. Do you still talk to them all the time?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Do they help you with that decision making?
Yeah, I mean, they've always been very supportive of everything I do. Like when I first started playing football, they were supportive, and going to the States, they've obviously been with me all along. But then when COVID hit, it kind of limited the amount of how much they could visit.
The visiting.
So we always try to talk like at least once or twice a week, and they're a big part of my life. So I felt now I've been 6 years away. My brother now all of a sudden has a kid and a wife, and I'm like, okay, well now I feel like I kind of want to be closer to them to kind of be a part of, just be a part of their life.
Are they coming to any of your Vikings games?
Yeah. So my mom was here for the Enthroners game, the first game, and then she was here for the second Prague game. It was really fun, and then my brother, he's gonna come down here now for the Paris game.
Oh, that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, awesome. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they're a lot closer now, as you said. You once said in an interview, your goals are to have fun and to dominate. How are you balancing that mindset with the pressure of a championship run?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always, just one game at a time, like 1 week at a time. I think that's, if you look at the big picture, it can sometimes be a little like too much. You kind of got to simplify it for yourself a little bit. So for me, it's always just, okay, the opponent we have this week and the guys I'm going up against, and just kind of taking it in small chunks, and I mean, I'm still having really fun with the game, and we've been dominating pretty well this season, so it's been going good.
And you mentioned your mental health before. That's a big thing that maybe not a lot of players like to talk about, but since you mentioned it, do you have anything that you do to like calm yourself down, or some meditation or some mantras that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I learned a lot in college, because that was at the teams I was at, that was a really big aspect they focused on, was like your mental health. Like your mental health is your health. That's a big part of the game, and when you get so like obsessed with the game, it can become overwhelming, kind of, So for me, that's something I've always been kind of aware of, and like I want to do at the end of the day what's best for me. But I feel like with just to look how it's structured here with practices and games, I feel like it's something where I have time to kind of decompress and focus on other stuff that isn't just football, and I think that helps me a lot.
What is your other hobby other than football? Do you have like another big hobby?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like traveling. So obviously being in Vienna, a place I haven't been before, I love, exploring the city, kind of, going around a little bit, trying to find food spots, or, seeing some tourist areas are really fun. I love cooking. So I usually tend to try to cook a lot. So that's fun. And then, right now I'm also just trying to, plan for after the season as well.
Speaking of exploring, you also had some of your teammates over in Sweden in the last bye week, I think, right?
So I had some teammates in.
Yeah, I think some of the teammates came to visit you in Sweden, or not? I think I saw Divine.
Yes, Divine and Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah. Last bye week
I saw
Yeah,
some pictures of them in Sweden.
Exactly. Yeah, I was back in Stockholm, and then they came over for that weekend. So that was a really fun time.
So
just
you
kind of
did the local tourist guide thing.
yeah,
And
showed them around a little bit, and then introducing some of my friends, and it was a good time. And they're a great group of guys, and it's nice to kind of hang out with them outside of football as well. Really to get to know them and get on a closer level.
You have one more bye week this season, I think. 2 more games and then a bye week. Are you going back to Sweden, or do you have any travel plans?
Yeah, so I'm going to Greece, actually. It's my mom's 60th birthday. So the whole family is going to Greece. So I'll be down there.
You'll get a little bit of a tan there.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. It'll be good. Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, so at 2.02 meters and 135 kilograms. I hope I get that right.
Yeah.
You're one of the bigger linemen in the ELF, and apart from tanning and taking care of your body, how do you maintain your conditioning and agility at that size?
Yeah. That's a big part of it right now. In fact, during the season, the lifting is, you want to stay strong, but it's also just kind of maintaining the shape that you've worked up on in the off season. I think that Coach P, our strength coach, I think she, I kind of do her program, and she does a great job in kind of keeping us, not overworking us, but at the same time kind of pushing us the right amount to kind of maintain the shape. Obviously playing D lineman before I came to college, I think has helped like my agility aspect of it. That was a part where I think they recruited me as O lineman. They thought that, okay, as a D line, you're not super agile, but if you were O lineman, you'd be pretty agile.
Compared to the other guys.
Exactly,
there.
yeah. So that's usually what happens if they see someone, they're like, he's pretty agile. We can put him in O line, it'll be pretty good. And that's
what happened. And you have the size for it. You're very
tall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 2 meters. Not a lot of guys are that tall in the team.
Yeah.
Are you the tallest guy in the team?
I keep debating with Thomas Schaffer, who's a bit taller. Because he's also pretty tall, and I think we're right around the same height. I like to say that I might have a little bit on him. He has a little thicker hair, so I think the hair makes him look taller than he is.
So the bigger hair wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you're very, very experienced with all the college years you did. How are you meshing with the veteran Viking linemen like Lucas Holub, Tony Koskinen, like all these guys?
Mm-hmm.
How is that going?
It's going really good. Lucas, I think he's a great tackle. Talk about a twitchy guy who's strong and explosive. And I tend to watch him a lot, like at practice or, in games, kind of his reps, because I feel like he's a very technical player. Like he really does the technique that our coach coaches, and he does it very well. So he's someone that, I always try to kind of look at, especially if him, he's been playing here, I think, since the first year. Kind of looking at how he approaches games and how he approaches matchups is a huge kind of to help me a little bit too. And the same goes for Tony too. Tony is a guy who I think he's very comfortable. Like he's played for a while. He kind of knows what to do, and he knows kind of where he can get beat and where he can't get beat. And I think all the Finns in general, they just have this. I feel they have a few screws loose when they get on the field, they're really crazy. Like Kari, he just runs into somebody, or Elmarie, all of them, all the Finnish guys are just like
maniacs, but in a good way.
On the field. Yeah, they're great people off the field, but on the fields, they're like something, just like a switch or something, and they're just they just play like crazy, and it's really fun to see. That's
awesome. And apart from like the skill and everything, as just a group of friends, I would say you guys get along very well. That's what Luki Holub said in his episode.
Yeah.
Says the O-line is a really great group. How do you see that?
Yeah, the O-line, that's always my favorite position group on the field. I think it's part of like the mentality. The O-lineman is someone that never gets the ball, doesn't really get much of the
not a lot of the shine.
Exactly.
But
yeah,
they do a lot of groundwork.
They do a lot of. I think that shows that they're selfless people that kind of. They do what's best for the team, and I think as a unit, we're just people that, again, selfless and just go out there and just hit people over and over again. So we like to be a little more, have some fun off the field and just kind of joke around and, we enjoy each other's company. So I think all the linemen so far this year have been great and very welcoming, and I think it's a
Luki nice actually told me in his episode that I asked him what signing he was most excited about, what new signing, and he immediately said Victor Stoffel.
Yeah.
He was so excited when he saw that you were coming, and when you were here, he called you and he tried to bond with you immediately. And
he took me around Vienna a little bit, gave me a little tour, and that was very nice. Again, going into a new team, you don't know what to expect, so having a player kind of reach out to him, let me show you around, is very welcoming. It's very nice.
And as an O-line group, what's the biggest emphasis to drive this season's run at the ELF title? Do you have like a group thing where you're like, this is our goal?
Yeah, I think for us, every week there's always been like a new kind of challenge for us, like something we've been testing. Like last week at Paris, they said this is one of the better D lineman fronts we're going up against. I think so far this season, I think we've always kind of stepped up to the challenge and really played good football. And I think that's, that's all it comes down to, we gotta know what's coming at us and then just kind of winning our one-on-one battles. Like I think we know what we're gonna see, and now it just comes down to execution. And I think that's the biggest thing with O-linemen, is just being able to execute and doing it consistently enough to, keep people off bend and, open up those running lanes for the running backs.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also have a lot of great running backs. I was just saying that watching the game this weekend, now with Kari back as well. It's just like a phenomenal group of guys, and you guys are doing the groundwork, as you said.
Yeah. It definitely helps. We got great running backs like we do that just, they'll run someone over too if we...
if you have to. So do you see yourself staying long-term in Europe now, or are you tempted to look at other professional leagues? I mean, there's a couple of them apart from the ELF, or are you set to stay in Europe?
I mean, I really like the ELF. I think it's a really good league, and I feel like it's a league where I want to keep playing. So that's what it comes down to.
What do you hope your legacy will be with the Vikings?
Oh, yeah. I try not to think too much about legacy. Like, again, for me, it's always just having that first, having that next game mentality and just like going out every week and just trying to execute and perform and like play the best football I can play. I hope when I'm, all said and done that people, think that, there's a hard worker, there's a guy that, really like selfless, that did everything he had to for the team to give us a chance to win, and just, be a good teammate.
And honestly, I think it shows a lot with everything you do around the field, because you've been here for a couple of months only, but you show up to the TikToks and you go to the events and signings and you do the podcast and put a lot of work in for the franchise, not just on the field. Yeah,
and especially, it's a growing league, trying to grow the fandom in Europe. So I feel like that's kind of a big part of it, is kind of helping to connect with the fans and kind of help grow the sport in Europe, and that's something that has been something I would want to do for a long time. And I feel like even if I'm done playing football, I still want to do what I can to kind of help grow the sport.
Which is rapidly growing in Europe.
Yeah.
And just last weekend, you and the team went to Paris. How was the weekend trip?
Oh, it was good. It was a good trip. Good trip for sure. It was a great game. Really, a back and forth game. And, I think it was a huge, a good challenge for us to overcome and to kind of show that, if it comes out to one of these games where it's a shootout and, 5 minutes left in the game and we have to drive the ball downfield and score to win the game, and to be able to execute and do that, I think that's a huge for his team. It kind of shows the grit and the perseverance of the unit. So
it was super exciting to watch, thrilling.
Yeah,
even too much at points. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I can't watch it anymore. But you did it and you get the job done.
Yeah.
So, apart from the game, did you spend a little time in Paris? I saw a lot of nice pictures from all the players exploring. I saw the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think some of the import guys, so we had a flight booked back on Monday. So we had that, Sunday after the game to kind of go out, players and coaches and staff, have a nice dinner and explore a little bit. Saw the Eiffel Tower, which is really cool. I've been to Paris a couple of times before, but it's always fun, I think, just to do those things off the field with the whole staff. It's really fun, and that's kind of that's part of why I love the sport. It's just being able to hang out with the guys and everyone. in the team.
It looked amazing, and you got some more trips coming up. You have 2 more away games before your next bye week. The next one is against the Panthers. How are you preparing for that game?
It's same thing every week. Like, it's a different opponent, but the goal always stays the same, and the preparation is always the same. It's just figuring out what they like to do on defense, and then kind of looking at their key players, like which are the best players on defense, and what are my matchups. What am I gonna have to do to kind of give us the best shot to score.
Who was your toughest matchup this season so far?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the Ryan Fire DNs were really good. I mean, they have some good players on that team. Paris too has some really good players. I know 9-5, the Aslan's a Swedish guy who I used to play against him in the junior team.
Oh, now
but
you
that
meet
was
again.
someone. Now we meet again, and that was someone too where he's like, yeah, this is a really good player. So I mean, it's always fun. I think getting to go up against these like good players and try to do your best to stop them, and that's kind of part of I think where I like the position too is that oftentimes a lot of teams are gonna have really good like DNs or someone on the D line that's really good. So it's a fun challenge for me every week to go up against them.
It's great that you're not the first person or the first player to tell me about that, to suddenly be in matchups against people you played against in your youth. Just seeing how many of the young European players end up in professional football now. That's really great. And I hope the whole league is developing more and that this happens a lot more in the future. What advice would you give a young player from Sweden or from Europe who wants to maybe go to the States, play high school or college football and get that experience like you did? What does it take?
I think a big part of it is discipline. I think you need to be disciplined in like your preparation for it. When I was at the camps, they told me about the 5 Ps. The proper preparation prevents poor performance. And I think that's huge. And that
proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, and I mean that works. That's true when it goes to going to camps and trying to get a scholarship, or even just in games. Like you can always fall back to your preparation. And if you're well prepared, you're gonna do on average. You're gonna do better if you're not prepared. And then I think also just like you really gotta love the game. I think a lot of I saw a lot in college. Some of the younger guys coming in and they. They get tested, and so did I. Like, just how much do you actually care about this sport? Because there's, it's a lot of hard work. Like, if you get the offer, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of the work. Because it's a lot. And they're gonna push you and they're gonna test you. And I mean, if you really love the sport and you're dedicated, you just gotta keep working and you kind of keep your head down, keep working. And then when you get an opportunity, it's time to just kind of fall back on your training and your preparation.
Well. Listen to this, kids. The 5 Ps.
Yeah, the 5 Ps. Yeah.
So you had a chance to also meet a lot of young football fans or football fans in general off the field, like at community events or signings and so on. What do you think makes Austrian or Vikings fans unique?
That's something that I talked a lot to with my mom about. Just when she was at the game, she was always very impressed by the just the atmosphere and like the excitement of the fans. And she mentioned it like, oh, you go to one of the college games and it's like bigger crowds, but she just felt like it wasn't quite the same like feeling to it. Like here's like even if it's not as big of a crowd, the crowd that is there are very, very active and very lively and like
they're really there for the game.
Exactly. They're very, very, it shows how much how much they like the sport, and she also felt like way more invited to the fan base. She felt like she kind of got embraced by the people there, even if you don't know them. They're still very, very friendly, and they're just there to have a good time. And I think that's been something really cool and something I was impressed with. Even when I signed, kind of seeing the fan engagement on social media, I was like, oh wow, yeah. I was like, oh wow, I almost didn't expect that. And then, just, being here, it's really been one of the big surprises, I guess, for me. It's like how dedicated fans are here and, how much they support the team and excited they are for each game.
You maybe wouldn't think that of Austrian people in general because we're more of like the closed off people and to ourselves. But when it comes to sports or to football, American football, the fans can get pretty rowdy and can get pretty engaged.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's been so fun. Yeah, it's really fun to see.
And for the fans, we usually do giveaways every week. Last week, we did a vest goodie package giveaway. That's the team sponsor for sports nutrition, etc. And a lot of people sent in the correct answer to the question, which was the score of the last Vikings Paris game last season.
Oh.
And these people got the answers right, and I'll have Victor draw a winner.
7. Okay.
Who do we have?
Okay. We got Simon Praus Tanter?
I think that's correct, yeah.
Simon Praus Tanter. Congratulations on your vest.
Congratulations. I will email you back. Yay.
Well done.
And you will get a great goodie package by Vast Sports. And this week, we're giving away Vikings socks because we have a lot of great fans, as you said, and they sometimes dress up in the craziest way for the game days. We've got the ones with the purple condoms, we call it. We get the ones that dress up like actual Vikings, and just like amazing costumes and fan outfits. So we want you to send us your fan photo in your game day outfit, in your game day costume, your favorite game day fit, and send it to podcast@viennavikings.com. And we are going to show the outfits in the next episode, choose a winner, and the winner gets brand new Viking socks as an addition for the perfect game day outfit. So yeah, send your pictures. I have a few in mind that I keep seeing at the games, and I hope they'll send me some pictures. It's going to be fun. So we'll see that next week. Yeah, basically that's it. Yeah. I'm going to have to let you go now because it's Tuesday, and that's when you do your TikToks, right?
That's it. Yeah, today's TikTok day, yeah.
Okay, so again, check out the TikTok channel. Victor is one of the big stars, I would say. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, see you in game day. Let's get it. Go Vikings.
We'll see. Bye-bye.